Hey everyone, this is Karnage. That wasn't a real anvil that I was pounding away, by the way. So I'm here today to review for you this, I would call it a third-party action figure. Iron Man Mark II from ZD Toys. So you can see the Chinese name down here, called Zhong 玩具. First, let's get the elephant out of the room. Ain't the box pretty? I mean, have a look at this. So this is matte. It's a matte finish, and this is all silvery and nice. The box itself is not rainbow colored, by the way. It's kind of just this silvery color, so that when light falls on it, it gives this kind of rainbow effect. Pretty. Let's just go through how the box looks like. So in the front, you got the very nice picture of, I believe this is the figure itself. At the side, you got more of that glorious, shiny effect, and the word Iron Man. And at the back, a whole bunch of Chinese characters. Right, this is the actual figure itself. And those with very sharp eyes will be able to see that this is actually a Disney logo. Now, I'm not too sure whether this is an actual licensed toy. Down here it says copyright Marvel. So on the side, you have Mark II. Now, the Mark II wording here is glorious shiny silver as well. Let me check the other side. Yep, this is matte. But on this side it's silvery. I don't know, some inconsistency, I guess. Okay, so I know for a fact that this would probably be a very good figure because I actually have the Mark III from the same company, and I pretty much like that figure as well. So let's open this up and have a look. The way this box opens is pretty clever. They open up in the front, like so, and it's held on by magnets. So doesn't that look nice? Right? Let me show you again. This is closed, right, with all the external armor or suit. And when it gets opened up, you get all the internal gears and whatnots. Looks very pretty. So I was very happy when I opened it up and saw this. I kept the Mark III box too, by the way. Anyway, so let's get to revealing the figure itself. You pull this silvery tab down here. Aha, there you go. Oops, something fell out. You get more of the silvery cardboard. Okay, put that to one side. Now let's see what fell out first. What's this? It kind of looks like it belongs to the Mark III. I'll explore this. I'll have to explore this a bit later. Put that aside. Let's get to the figure itself. Okay, I think I can. Yep. Okay, so the figure itself comes in a clamshell like this, and the box kind of is just cardboard. So let's keep that to one side and get to the figure itself. Okay, so the figure has two trays. One tray is to hold all the accessories. Okay, very nice. And this is the Mark II itself. Okay, let's get into it. We have some scotch tape down here, which is not uncommon for toys coming out of that country. They love to scotch tape their clamshells. Okay, so we have another scotch tape behind. Get that ripped out. You know, I could have just used my scissors, which is sitting right beside the table. And right, done. Come on. Open, open, open. Whoa, okay. Whew. Shiny. Let's take him out. So he comes out pretty easily. Let's have a look. Let's turn up the brightness here. Let's get some lights on him. Are you guys seeing this okay? Wow. I'm impressed. It's got all this very fine detail, the rivets, all sculpted in. So the eye itself is all clear plastic. So is the chest piece. So it's essentially a clear plastic with some design underneath. So it's very nice, gives it a very nice effect. Let's have a good look at this gorgeous figure. So I was telling you about the sculpt. So you can see all these rivet effects sculpted in very nicely, spaced out as far as I can tell quite evenly. You can see the sculpt on the gauntlets as well, on this side. Okay, on the biceps, even on the helmet itself. Very, very nice. Let's check out the back. So again, the rivet effects continue through. These lines sculpted very well as well. These spine plates kind of thing, right? So this really reminds me of, you know, that scene where he first dons the armor and presents it to us, and the camera kind of pans all around him, showing all the bits and pieces moving. So, and the spine plates going up and down. That was really impressive. The movie, I mean. Okay, have a look at the legs. Okay, so again, the rivet sculpting. Some detail down here at the knees. Okay, the panels at the back of the knee. Here at the boots. Wow, look at that. Look at that sheer amount of detail at the feet as well. I'm totally impressed. Sorry if I sound like a total noob. But yeah, it's really cool to see the amount of effort that they put into this toy. You got peg holes down here. I assume it's for the flame effects. So these are the tread lines for the boots. It says ZD Toys. Copyright Marvel. And says 2019. So aesthetics wise, I think definitely it gets 2 thumbs up from me. Okay, let's put him off to the side and have a look at the accessories. So this is the tray that the accessories come in. Right, you got this array of alternate hands, the flame effects or propulsion effects. You got the stand that reads Marvel Studios Iron Man Mark II. Various stand attachments, pieces. Yeah. Let's get this tray open for you as well. Okay, Scotch tape, no surprise. Let's just cut this open. And let's try not to get all the pieces all over the place. Okay, there you go. Scotch tape this side. Give me a minute. And I'm back. Geesh, you would think that Scotch tape grows on trees, the way they Scotch tape this thing. Okay, so I finally got it open after a hot minute. So these are all the pieces. Alright, let's have a look at them. So the Iron Man comes with a pair of palm open hands. Let's have a look at the details. Like the light blue. The digits, every finger, sculpted very nicely. Of course, he comes with another 2 palm open hands with the holes for the propulsion effects or the blast effects. 2 of them. And you get these 2, which kind of look like palm open hands as well, but there is a very slight difference. Here, let me show you. So these are the 2, right? So the one on my right is more splayed open. The one on the left is a little bit more, I don't know, dynamic, I guess, just for a variety of poses. And of course the figure itself already has the 2 closed fist hands already attached. So the figure also comes with these 4 translucent blast effects. So I kind of really like this. It goes from a darker orange hue all the way down to yellow, right? Okay, so I'm sure it looks pretty awesome when attached to the figure. I'm gonna try if I can fit in the Marvel Legends blue effects as well later on. I won't go through the stand pieces. These are pretty standard, right? Kind of attachments. Do let me know in the comments down below if you need help figuring out how to use them. Alright, show you this extra feature. You can call it an accessory if you want to. And it's at the back. These flaps are actually able to open up. So let's get them both open. And here, have a look at the details inside. Very, very nice. All the sculpted detail. Well, there isn't any details on this side. Okay, let's try to get one of the blast effects on him. First, let's swap out the hands. Okay, so obviously it's on a ball joint. Let me pick the correct palm open hand. So this is the one. Let's put it in. Now, at first glance, you might look and say that's not gonna fit. But you kind of do have to apply a little bit of force, and the plastic here will kind of expand a little to allow the peg to go in. So have a look. And it has that very satisfying pop sound. Don't worry, you won't break anything. Okay, so now he's got his palm open hand. Let me choose a blast effect. Just peg it in, and it fits very snugly. No problem at all. Okay, and now let's answer that burning question that you have. Does Marvel Legend blast effects actually work on this figure? Okay, so these are the blast effects that I've collected over the years, over different figures. And the conclusion is Yes, it absolutely does. They port in rather easily actually. As you can see, you can get a rainbow party kind of going on here. Okay, so I hope that answers your question. Alright, we're moving right along to articulations. Let's look at the head. Looking up, well, only this much. So a little bit disappointing. We are gonna have to use the diaphragm and waist to help him with his flight poses. Looking down, together with the neck, pretty much okay. You can look all the way down. Any head tilting? Yeah, you're not gonna get any head tilting for this one. He's not gonna be giving any quizzical looks to Spider-Man. Okay, a look at the shoulder articulations on this figure. Right, so it kind of operates on a pop-out system. I'll show you what I mean. So currently the joint is actually popped in. This is mainly for posing, to make it look aesthetically pleasing. So once you are ready to pose, what we do is we pop the joint out. Alright, and this gives the shoulder much more range in the articulation department. Alright, so the shoulders can come up to horizontal with that. And of course, no problem, there is 360-degree rotation. Okay, so you have that. And you do have single jointed elbow, which come up to just about 90 degrees. Okay, wrists are on a ball peg, as you have seen, and they do rotate. And obviously can move in all directions. Okay, now this is what surprised me when I was messing around with the toy. Up here, the diaphragm joint, it actually operates on a pop-down system as well, or drop-down system, or pop-out system if you wish. So currently the joint is in. Alright, so you realize that he can't really bend forwards, and backward articulation is just slightly. Okay, so let's employ the drop-down system. So you do realize that now the torso is kind of lengthened slightly, and with that, voila, he's able to bend down forward quite a bit, and going back, obviously, a little bit more. A thing to note, it does leave a little bit of a gap down here. I do wish they have extended the sculpt a little bit further so as to hide the gap. Ah well. And when we are done with it, down it goes. So the hips also do have the drop down mechanism. So just pop it down, alright, whenever you need posing. And with that, well, it comes up to here, not that much. Moving back, that much. Double jointed knee. Well, it's pretty looking, but only barely functional. So it comes up to this much. Ankle joints. His feet moves backward this much, and forwards only this much. And you do have a decent ankle articulation. No toe articulation. Okay, now because I'm clairvoyant, I am predicting that there'll be a lot of people wondering about the Mark III and how it stacks up. So this is the Mark III that I got, also from ZD Toys. Let's put them side by side. Okay, so this is how they look side by side. They're pretty much the same height. Now my favorite movie version of the Iron Man suit is either one of these two. I can't decide. Alright, so let's set Mark II aside and have a look at Mark III. Right, so of course, first thing you will see that this is obviously much more colorful, duh. In terms of glossiness, right, this wins, no doubt. Now, although it doesn't have the many rivets all over the place, you do see that whatever rivets it has comes with this very nice silvery paint, right, which kind of makes it pop. So again, this is clear plastic and some design work, sculpt work underneath. The one on the visor is also clear plastic down here. Okay, so again, the shoulder pieces do move. I would feel that this color of red is really screen accurate. The color really pops. Okay, so here's a look at the back. The vents, very nicely painted as well, a different color. Don't mind the dust, it's been standing on display. Alright, so the spine plates. Cool colors. Okay, a look at the boot and knee designs. The feet. In terms of articulation, is pretty much the same. I stand corrected. The head articulation on the Mark III is actually much better than the one on the Mark II, as you can see. Alright, so the Mark III also uses the pop-out system for the shoulder joints. So this is before popping out, and you can actually pop it out and of course do your range of motion. So that's pretty good. The waist is also on the pop-out system. Right, so now you can do your waist articulation. For the hip articulation, Mark III actually wins as well. Let me show you side by side. The one on Mark II only goes up to here. This is Mark III on your left. Okay, let's see the double jointed knee. Alright, the double jointed knee is kind of the same for both figures. Of course, forward movement for the feet, backward movement for the feet. It does have ankle pivot as well. No toe articulation. So it would seem that the articulation on the Mark III is actually a little bit more superior. So the Mark II and the Mark III figures come up to just about 18 centimeters. Here we have a quick comparison to the Revoltech Bleeding Edge armor. This is an official product, by the way. You can see the bleeding in the reds, and gosh. Okay, anyway, I don't want to talk about this. And this one is a bootleg Revoltech Mark II figure. And I believe this is one of the earlier figures that I got when I started collecting. A little info about this figure. When you have it in hand, it's actually kind of matte looking. But On the camera, you couldn't tell, huh? It looks pretty shiny. Plus, the chest is supposed to light up. Yes, this light up feature. Let me see if it still works. Oh well, it doesn't. Being a Revoltech, it can get into some crazy poses, but in terms of aesthetics, this I would think is much more film accurate, wouldn't you say? And of course, for Marvel Legends, we have the old and the new. This is the Marvel Legends 80th Anniversary Iron Man. And this is the Marvel Legends Endgame Mark 85. This is how they stack up against this ZD Toys Iron Man Mark II. And this is the Marvel Select Hawkeye. This figure Mark II and this figure Mark III are excellent toys in this scale. I say in this scale because, as you can see, it doesn't quite match the Marvel Legends scale, and not really the Marvel Select scale either. But personally, I don't quite mind my Iron Man being slightly bigger, just because it's people in suits of metal, right? Aesthetically, they are magnificent. In fact, when I first got the Mark III, I thought to myself, it's like a mini Hot Toys. And it really seems like that. Just fairly articulated, but boy do they look good on a shelf. I really hope that ZD Toys continue with this line and make the entire OG cast of Avengers. I don't mind a Scarlet Witch, a Vision, or even a Thanos, eventually. Don't forget to give me a like and subscribe and ring that bell icon. Let me know down in the comments what you think of this line of toys and what character you hope they tackle next. Time for me to sign off, my friend. You have a great day. Bye. Alright, for those of you who still remember, this came dropping out of the box when I opened it, and I assumed that it would be for the Mark III. Let's see if I'm right. Okay, so these are the two pieces we got. Here's the other piece. So from what I can tell, the only difference is in the design. There's this additional groove down here. Very slight difference in the design. Let me get this off and I'll do a quick comparison. So what you want to do is to just get your fingernails under this, careful not to scratch anything, and you just kind of prise it off. Okay, so it's quite easily done. Set him one side. The difference is only very slight, in that the one on my right, it has a groove right here, whereas the other does not. And the other difference is right at the very top. The one on my right has additional piece down here at the top, and the one on the left does not. Okay, so this is the new piece. Let's see how it looks attached. So what you want to do is kind of do the reverse. So I want to fit it in through the back first, and then kind of just gently lift it over the front. Or you can do it the other way if you wish, and it should pop in nicely. Okay, there you go. So I'll throw up a picture of the movie version up here, and let's do a comparison. Which is more accurate? I got a feeling this is the more accurate version, being that they included it as a spare part for the Mark II. Okay, so this is the finished product. I've swapped out both the shoulder armor. Alright, So that's how it looks.